Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of our series, Technology by Page. I'm Karan Madhok, an Associate Director in the business, and I lead the tech hiring practice for the group. I am delighted to have with me today Jitendra Agrawal. Jitendra is an industry veteran with 2 decades of experience within the tech domain. He has built, grown, and led tech functions for various high-growth consumer internet organizations. Currently, he is the global CTO of Cars24, and previously he's worked with some of the leading organizations like Hotstar, Lending Card, and Springboard, just to name a few. Jitendra, thank you for joining in. If you look at the last decade or so, what has changed in the way you get evaluating talent?
Interestingly, the basics haven't changed at all. The proxies for how we find out if somebody would do well on these basic attributes have changed.
Okay.
All of us are trying to look for like small number of basic attributes in our team members. Will they work hard? Will they have perseverance? Are they smart? Right? Will they be a good team player? Like if you keep these basics in mind, what I did early on, and since you're giving me a decade to talk about, I blindly went to IITs, hired the talent based on whether they were interested in coding. They were smart kids, we knew that. They could work hard, we also knew that, right? And we also knew that they could remain motivated to work on a goal for months. They prepared for an exam for 3 years, 4 years. This was my early strategy. That has changed. What I realized was I had some great colleagues from NITs, triple ITs, and some colleges that I hadn't even heard about. Now that makes it tricky. We couldn't possibly go to hundreds of colleges for campus interviews and find those gems. Right? That's just logistically not possible. So we looked for other proxies and found out that a lot of companies had shifted to DSA rounds heavily. DSA was ruling the roost. Right? Data structures, algorithms, proficiency in competitive programming gave us the same signals. There was a point when everyone I was interviewing had a SPOJ score, a code chef rank, a hacker rank, and hacker earth score, and whatnot. And these were good signals. These signals were fresh as compared to the performance that they had in an entrance exam 4 years ago. It worked well. For a brief period, I also changed to sending assignments and online tests. That didn't last long. I have moved on. I'm sure a lot of people in the industry have moved on. DSA still continues to be big. But today, for experienced candidates, especially on the website and the mobile development side, DSA has become like a barrier, really. It's not trying to assess their skills. So today, what we do is we focus on their current skills, their current work, their knowledge levels, and how they will attempt to solve the problems that we are solving today. The real problem that Cars24 team solves today, how will they solve it? This gives us a good picture of whether they are a skillful web developer or mobile developer, even without assessing DSA. DSA is a great proxy according to me, but we have found a better way to assess these skills.
And Jitendra, if you look at tech as a landscape, there has been massive demand for tech talent at the moment, right? Different organizations looking at hiring people, and candidates also to some extent are spoiled for choice because they have a lot of opportunities available, right? Picking up a job might not be difficult for them. However, if they want to really land their dream job, what do you think tech professionals should do?
Now, for landing a dream job, there are things that you should do for interview preparation, and there are things you should do generally to be good at the job. Let's start with interviews, okay? Whenever we are applying for a job, we work with the recruitment partner or recruitment POC or the talent person from the company. I would request everyone who is trying to look for or land a dream job, ask this person about the interview rounds, skills that they would evaluate, right? Does the company ask for DSA rounds? Does the company ask system design questions? If they don't ask DSA, maybe you don't need to prepare for it. If they are big on DSA, prepare for it, right? Prepare for those skills. I have seen people spending months on lead code or algo expert to do well in interviews. If it is a dream job, it's worth spending that 2 months extra in preparing. During interviews, of course, a lot of people treat it as an interrogation or some kind of People will ask me questions, I'll respond. Treat your interview like a colleague. Solve the problem with them. They give you a problem, think aloud. Your interview has no clue what you're thinking unless you say what you're thinking. Ask whether you're going in the correct direction. Communicate. Ask for hints. It's not bad. Keep your code quality high. That bar has to still remain high. I've had multiple interview debriefs where people came and said, yes, this person solved the problem, but the code is so bad, I doubt if they care about the quality. Right? If you don't have time, say you're compromising on the quality for the sake of the interview. They hate what they're doing right now. They want to write better code. Your interviewer knows, okay, right? This person will write better code when they're given enough time. Ask questions that tells your interviewer that you have done your homework and you're interested in joining the company. Unfortunately, I have interviewed, and these are for exploratory calls, where people didn't know what my company does. In some cases, people just mistook the company's name for another company. So that doesn't land a dream job for you.
And as a follow-up to that, we've had a lot of mid-level professionals, people who are looking to grow their careers, evolve as tech professionals, want to get advice on what they can do to grow into a role of a senior engineer.
What I feel is there are 5 distinct growth areas for engineers, and almost everything else can be just combined into these 5. I call them communication, collaboration, ownership, looking at the larger picture, and technical proficiency. Technical proficiency comes last. For me, senior engineers just start taking more responsibility. They start looking at the bigger picture. They start looking at the product. They start looking at engineering frameworks, right? I would still talk about technical proficiency. Of course, your code quality, awareness of design patterns, distributed systems knowledge, and a lot of other knowledge-based skills, they can't be ignored. You can be just the best communicator, and if you can't code well or your code is full of bugs, it doesn't get you anywhere. So the knowledge-based skills are important. They can't be ignored. But a lot of us means a lot of software engineers like me, we fail in collaboration and communication front. We can be good coders, but we fail in these points. Right? For example, building consensus. Everyone in the tech teams and product and business has their own point of view, their own way of looking at things, their own way of selecting technologies, solving a problem, right? Senior developers and engineering leaders, they need to build consensus continuously. And if you can do that in your first year regularly, people like me, your leadership will acknowledge it and say, this person is able to do what I usually expect somebody with 5 years of experience to do. They're able to build consensus. Same goes for ownership. Do you represent your team in the discussions? If not, why? Are you the go-to person for some technology, some module in your team? If you are, then you're on your way to becoming a senior engineer soon.
Interesting. I think, again, some very, very relevant and pertinent points which tech professionals should keep in mind if they're really looking at growing into the role of senior engineers. Thank you, Jitendra. I think it's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us today. You've highlighted some very, very pertinent points which organizations who are looking to hire should find relevant, and even tech professionals who are looking at fast-tracking their career growth should also find very, very helpful. Thank you once again. Thanks
for having me do this, Karan. Very, very good questions. I'm glad that you're doing this for the tech community.
Thank you. Thanks, Jitendra.